This is Brian with ScreenFiles.com in review. And what I'm looking at today is 2015's Maze Runner, The Scorch trials. And let's just say I despise the first Maze Runner movie because I grew up reading young adult novels. Stuff like The Fortet Conspiracy, The White Mountains, many others. The Piers Anthony books about Xanth, I believe it was. Quite a few. And the thing is, young adult does not mean bad. I saw the first Maze Runner in theaters, and at times I laughed out loud, not because something was funny, but because something was so stupid and silly that it was hilarious that people respond in a particular way or situation the way these characters did. It's insulting to the whole young adult genre. So I went into the Scorch trials, the sequel to The Maze Runner, not expecting much. And this is such a weird movie because how do you have a movie with Giancarlo Esposito? There are other great actors in it whose names are eluding me right now. How do you have a movie with such a high caliber of actors be so not good? And I don't call it bad. Reason being, it has great production values. The acting for the most part is good to decent. It's not terrible. Why did this movie so bother me? Similar to the way the original Maze Runner bothered me. It's the idea that very little makes sense. For instance, let me give you an example of what I mean. Our intrepid group is led to this compound in the desert where they're led to believe that they're being offered sanctuary from Wicked. And I want to get back to Wicked in a minute, but they eventually learn that Wicked is behind their so-called sanctuary. Now there's a scene where the lead actor, I don't remember his name, is crawling through some ducks to get to this area where they found some weirdness happening. Now, they show the distance from the duct, which is in the ceiling, to the floor has to be at least 12 to 13 feet. In other words, it's pretty tall, and there are no objects in this hall. They show the lead actor coming down from the duct. And the next scene, him and his friend are looking around this lab, evil goings on, yada, yada, yada. And next scene, they show them back in the ductwork. Now my thing is, how did they get up there? This really irritates me because this happens often in this movie. It defies logic to me. Now keep in mind, like I said, this ceiling, floor to ceiling, looked somewhere in the range of 12 to 13 feet tall. That's not to say a 6-foot person, I'm not even sure this actor is 6 feet, but let's just roll with it. I'm not saying that they could not have gotten back up there. What I'm saying is it would have been difficult and not at all a quick process to get back up there because, well, side spec it requires some immense upper body strength, which neither of those actors seem to have. It's the idea that it would have taken effort and time to do it. But nope, one scene they're down, next minute they're moving through the ducts. It's like, I wanted to see them get back up there. That's important. It would have established the scene better, and it would have made it less like Because movie. So that bothered me. There's these creatures in the desert who were chasing after our intrepid group who managed to escape from Wicked. They're running down a corridor, and I kid you not, these creatures, they're kind of like the creatures from I Am Legend, except not as strong or as clever. In any case, these creatures aren't a yard behind them. They're running from them, they're very fast, and they're very close to them. Next scene, they're hiding, and no one knows where they are. It's like, what? Wait a minute. What? How did that happen? It's like the director, Wes Ball, is deliberately editing out important scenes that would give us information about how this situation is unfolding. I mentioned earlier how patronizing this feels, and that doesn't help. It makes young adult novels, which the Maze Runner and the Scorch trials are based upon, look like Choose My Adventure books or something. It's really annoying. Why not show that? How did they do that? Those creatures were so close to them, there is no way that could have happened. But it happened because movie. And there are other scenes like that. It's the most frustrating thing. And what makes it worse is that this movie, as I said, is not badly acted. Has some very high caliber actors in it. Oh, Barry Pepper's in it as well. And there are some others. But it just goes. Alan Tudyk, now it's coming back to me. Alan Tudyk is in this movie as well. It's got some high caliber, decent actors, but they're working in service of a cynical or badly written, I'm not sure which, because this could have just as easily have been the director cutting scenes, or the editor. I don't know why this movie does what it does, but it irritates me to no end. And I mentioned Wicked earlier. Do you know what Wicked stands for? Off the top of my head, I don't either. I'll have to check that. I'll be right back. WCKD stands for World Catastrophe Kill Zone Department. WCKD. And my first response was, and I don't remember that from the first movie, though they could have mentioned it. Though I probably would have remembered something so incredibly stupid. It's so frustrating. World Catastrophe Kill Zone Department? What does that mean? It's like they need an acronym and they're looking so hard and they somehow go, WCKD, World Catastrophe Kill Zone Department. I'm sorry, that is the dumbest phrase I've ever heard. And I've heard a lot of stupid shit, but that is incredibly dumb. What does that mean? I don't care if the initial comes out, WCKD. Oh, it's WCKD. No, it's not WCKD. It's stupid. And the idea that someone can say that and not break into laughter, for me, is just beyond comprehension. It's so stupid. And it doesn't help with this movie. And that's the pity. As I said earlier, there are lots of good young adult novels. Hell, Harry Potter, which has a huge fan base, is a young adult novel. Crimes of Grindelwald, not so much, also not so popular. But in any case, they're great young adult novels. And I haven't read any of the Maze Runner books. But I would like to think that WCKD is from them, because if the filmmakers made up this dopey acronym, oh my God, it's terrible. It's so ridiculous. Just hearing it makes your mind curdle and seethe in anger. It's ridiculous. So, suffice it to say, I cannot stand the Scorch trials. And again, this is the paradox. It's the Cloverfield paradox times 20. It's not that it's a bad movie. It's a stupid movie. It's edited really weird. It's the worst thing. I'm exhausted. But trust me, if you had to sit through the Scorch trials, you'd be tired too. Maybe in another 5 years I'll work up the nerve to watch The Death Cure, which is so stupid, because death is a cure for everything. I don't care what your ailment is, death will cure it. That you name a movie The Death Cure, and you have an acronym called WCKD, which once again, World Catastrophe Kill Zone Department. It is the stupidest thing. It's beyond stupid. I mean, acronyms can be cool. Like, for instance, SHIELD, which is Supreme Headquarters, Enforcement, something or another. But it works. It reads, it's logical. It makes sense. And it just sounds cool. WCKD, oh God, you're trying too hard. Just stop. Don't make it WCKD. And if it were in the young adult novels, don't use it. Rename it. It's stupid. Oh my God, I gotta stop. It's driving me freaking mental.